couple threes on the board. I think a second round pick at this point is probably too rich for K1. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from Bo and Johnny, PHNX Cardinals and Bo. Under the tree this morning, a special 2-round mock draft.
We've been very nice this season, despite our team being very naughty as far as not being able to get a lot of wins in 2025. But because of that, Arizona Cardinals are flush with draft capital, including the 5th overall pick. Yes, merry mock draft miss to all of those who celebrate. Let's fire it up, Johnny, and see if we can maybe chip away at putting the Cardinals back to relevancy in the NFL.
We're doing a 2-round mock draft here via our friends at PFF. And Cardinals now picking 5th overall. You absolutely love to see that. Again, you assume, a couple quarterbacks could fall your way. If not, we're going to have to get creative. But before we do anything, we're going to call up, Bo and I agreed to this before the show, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and shipping one Kyler Murray to Pittsburgh in exchange for what, Bo? They've got a couple threes on the board. I think a second round pick at this point is probably too rich for K1.
Yeah, what is it? They've got 3 threes there. They got a compensatory pick that they're projecting here.
They've got 77, 84, and 98.
Yeah, so maybe throw in, get 77 for sure.
Yeah,
maybe get 98. Looks like they're for, maybe you can throw in a third for next year. See if they go 3 threes.
Yeah, that'd be great. They do in fact. So we're going to offer the trade. The trade has been accepted, and so Kyler Murray's days in Arizona are over, as it's felt like for some time. And Aaron Rodgers likely retires after this year. Mike Tomlin has got his mojo back at the recording of this show, has a chance to win the division. Kyler Murray, Bo, as you've mentioned, nice landing spot for the former 1st overall pick.
When we think about NFL offenses that would maybe cater to his skill set, and I think Arthur Smith, sometimes you can take the wind out of the sails of some players, but I think Kyler Murray would be a good fit for Arthur Smith. Not a ton of downfield passing. We've seen Kyler, with a good run game and everything, this would be a nice little duo for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who it just seems like each and every year they kick the tires on a veteran quarterback after 7 seasons in the desert. Kyler going to the Steel City.
And Kyler represents, unlike Aaron and some of these other quarterbacks, if they hit on Kyler, if Kyler works out, like Kyler would be their starter, presumably, years into the future, which is, I'm sure, what ails a lot of Cardinal fans. So Cardinals shipping out their once first-round quarterback. Can they get another? We start the mock draft. They strike out here as Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore are both gone. Caleb Downs, the safety drafted by the Jets. Averill Reese, the outstanding pass rusher for Ohio State, goes 1st overall. So the Cardinals now sit at pick 5, Bo. Now, Rueben Bain, one of my favorite players in this draft, was unbelievable, unblockable in that matchup against Texas A&M. 10 sacks on the season. So it's a big, roll of the dice here. Do you take Rueben Bain, pair him with Josh Sweat, or do you look at the kid, Fanu, the tackle from Utah, who is the quintessential top pass protector?
Yeah, I mean, that's the dilemma, right? I think as far as the quarterbacks, you would have had to get up to 1 with the Giants in order to be in play for both either Mendoza or Moore. So here you are at 5, and you've got, some pretty good prospects there. Obviously, Bain, premium position. We know that, look, they've got a bunch of players in-house, but who has this type of ability for the Arizona Cardinals? I don't think that you could make a case for anybody. He would definitely help an ailing front 7 that hasn't had a lot of luck creating pressure here down the stretch. Well, unless you want to trade down for a team that would come up for Bain and then take Fanu later and then create more draft capital. But I don't know if that's something you want to do in this exercise.
I think you're overthinking it if you're thinking, let's just stockpile more picks. Where I watch the Cardinals, they need more impact players, Bo. And as much as Fanu's a great prospect, the Cardinals already have a blindside Pro Bowl protector in Paris Johnson. They can find a right tackle. Rueben Bain, they're not available. They're not available, unless you have the 5th overall pick. They're not available in free agency. I say we go with what many believe is pound for pound the best edge rusher in this class.
Let's do it. Bain, he is now officially an Arizona Cardinal. And now I think, can you trade back into the 1st round like the Giants of last draft?
Yeah.
And maybe look at a guy like Ty Simpson to
I
be
love
your
it.
Jackson Dart.
I love it. So we're going to slow this down, and I think we're going to look at a team maybe like the Houston Texans, Bo. We're going to pause the draft and see. I know PFF's solid on Ty Simpson, but they don't have him as a firm first rounder. I think that could change. We need to see if Ty declares. But this is a team you already did a draft day trade with once upon a time in 2023, the aforementioned Paris Johnson Jr., trying to get Ty Simpson here, presumably for pick 23. I love the comps to Jackson Dart and the trade up last year that worked out for the Giants. Cardinals have pick 37. You definitely have to give that up. Maybe, Bo, we try to ship them one of the 2 third rounders that we got from the trade. Let's start with that comp pick. Doesn't look like that would be accepted. So maybe probably have to do 37 and 77 to go up 14 spots. Is this too rich?
Nick Caserio, he jumped out of his seat there, the Texans GM. No, I don't mean, look, it's 22 picks difference.
Yeah.
77 and 98. But look, this is a quarterback here that you are getting an opportunity at somebody that otherwise isn't going to be on the board by the time you're likely picking at 37th overall.
We're going to offer the trade. It is accepted. The Cardinals now have an opportunity. Wow, that's difficult. We got Fano right here staring us in the face. I mean, like, I don't think we can trade up twice. I think as tough as this is, we got to keep the eye on the prize here. Ty Simpson, who I know he was bad against Georgia. I thought he was outstanding against Oklahoma. We had multiple people. Eric Edholm, who covers the draft for NFL.com, said he made a ton of big-time throws. I'm anxious to see him, how he plays against Fernando Mendoza. He's just your stereotypical Bama 6'2", needs to bulk up to about 220. Pocket quarterback with some mobility. He's got a good arm. It's not a great arm. I think you're taking him with the hope that, okay, he can develop. You get somebody that can sit in the pocket and throw darts to Marv and Michael Wilson and Trey McBride. This is a very big, pivot from a guy like Kyler Murray, but you have to take a swing at some point, Bo. And a lot of people thought Ty Simpson going into this draft was the best prospect, 2 or 3 months ago.
Right. And it doesn't impact future drafts. If Ty Simpson comes and you need more infrastructure around him, you're not going to, bankrupt yourself of draft capital. So you got up with the picks you got from Kyler and your second rounder this year. I think that this is what you want to hear on Christmas is the Cardinals drafting a quarterback.
So the Cardinals get Ty Simpson. They no longer have a second round pick as a result, but they still have a couple of thirds that they're able to operate with. They didn't like our Ty Simpson option. They would like to see us draft Fano, but again, Bo Nix was not. They weren't giving out a lot of A's for that pick once upon a time. So it's a quarterback league. I'm with you. The Cardinals have to roll the dice, and then you're looking ahead. The Cardinals are going to be able to walk away with an extra third and a third in 2027 on top of they didn't deal away their third round pick. So you would have had 2 more picks on day 2. And again, like the Cardinals, I like the interior offensive linemen, the way they've emerged this year. Just got to get a right tackle, Bo. But Rueben, Bain, Ty Simpson, sign me up right now. Yeah,
this is you got a premium position in Bain off the edge. And then you got Ty Simpson is kind of a project quarterback at the end of the first round, which has kind of become a trendy thing. If you get the opportunity of it, I think Monty Ossenfort would be well served to check it out. So what'd you think? How do we do on this Christmas mock draft? Drop a grade in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to PHNX Sports.